welcome back to the most electrifying show in media. The show that goes where no other program goes. The show that takes all of those bad, old, outdated groupthink ideas. There's that word again, groupthink. I'm going to make sure everybody hates groupthink after this program's finished. We're just going to bury that concept into people's minds. Groupthink. We're not here for groupthink. We want to challenge sacred cows, not because we just want to, but because we know there's a lot of things we can do if we don't rely on the established textbook knowledge. Because as we know, textbook knowledge, sometimes consensus is not really the fundamental way of doing science. Science actually progresses with one lone dissident starting a new frequency of thought, a new idea that challenges what people thought was possible in the world of physics and eventually disrupts the apple cart completely, opening up a whole new paradigm. That's how science, folks, has always progressed. And joining me in this final segment, he's just arrived in the flesh, Dr. Wei-Ping Yu, a top physicist in the aerospace engineering. He is here once again, folks.
Thank you, David, for having me again.
Yes, and I couldn't be more excited because on the last show at the end, you dropped a bomb and we just acted like it was nothing. And I was like, wow, we got to really unpack that a little bit more. A nugget of truth, which is earth-shattering. And that is, you were suggesting maybe elements are not what we think. Now, elements, iron, gold, platinum, uranium, those are the elements that make up the physical world, right? That's what our table of our chemistry periodic table is made up of.
Wow, you still catch that one. Yes. What I was said is actually we can, with human creation, we can create any elements available in the universe. That right on Earth.
We can create elements ourselves.
Yes, which is totally contradictory to current theory.
Now, when I go read my textbook tonight, if I go pull up my college textbook, I don't think I'm going to see that anywhere in the book, is it?
No. The current theory talking about any elements heavier than iron. So that's the, we consider as the heaviest elements available, making, in the solar system. But if based on that one, so all other elements, silver, all heavier, say gold, or even lead
platinum,
or something, platinum, all the heavy precious metal. So then they have to make in what? At a supernova. So the reason we under current theory says in order to make heavy elements, basically we say make a nucleus, which are proton or neutron.
Right.
So like charged protons, fuse them together require high energy.
Okay.
So anything heavier will require even higher energy.
Okay.
So then solar system available.
But you're challenging the atomic model, which throws that out the window, is what you're suggesting.
Yes.
If atoms are made up, as you've made an allusion to earlier in other programs, that atoms are made up of little magnets having both positive and negative charge, each particle, right?
Yes.
Then that changes how elements can be constructed.
This is going to be fundamentally changed. The current, if you think about the current theory, microscopic theory, that's quantum mechanics. The whole theory built on try to solve one problem is how could a like charged particle, protons, or even neutral, how could them fuse together, becomes heavier elements? So how could the like charge supposed to repel together? All the theories are founded based on solving this mystery. But what I find is there is no such particle called purely positive or purely negative charged particle in the universe.
So every particle has both positive and negative, like a little magnet.
That's right. Every particle actually has both positive and negative. So that means in order to fuse them together, you don't need extra force higher than electromagnetic repulsion, but you just at the right condition.
So what this means, folks, is absolutely earth-shattering. If I'm hearing you correctly, if we use the right roadmap of physics and we get the right map of what we're looking at, we should be able to take ordinary elements and under the right conditions, maybe heat them up, break them apart, and reconfigure them into more rare earth elements?
Yes. So we can create a resource, use existing material.
Wow. That would be earth-shattering in what it could do for technology, for the world, for the planet. I mean, think about the trillions of dollars that are expended trying to mine these rare earth minerals in these conflict sites all over the globe. Conflict sites like in Africa and the Middle East, where people are fighting like tooth and nail over these rare earth deposits. And if you're suggesting that if we have the right science, we might not need to rare earth deposit, we not have to use those, we could actually make them.
We can solve this resource problem not through wars or violence. We can solve through technology.
Right. That is amazing. So yeah, I remember reading in a History Channel how Sir Isaac Newton actually was trying to turn lead into gold. And it sounds like maybe he didn't know exactly what he was doing, but maybe he was onto something in the right general direction, that it's possible to take an ordinary element and take it into a rare earth element. Now, that is a whole earth-shattering paradigm that needs to be unpacked. So just give us another nugget here of how to wrap our minds around this going forward.
So there's several different type of research, it's called elemental transmutation. That's basically is forming heavier elements, use common material. So lots of there's some results, but the problem is difficult to repeat because at that level. So what I suggested is, number one, we need a heat to make a melting point. Of course, higher heat to melting, and then. But just temperature itself, not enough. If we have a right electromagnetic environment and the right vibration.
Wow.
We can break an atom and form the new, called fusion, form new elements.
Wow. So this is amazing, folks. It's all about vibration. It's all about those good vibrations and getting the resonance of all these particles aligning in the right way. And we can create elements. We can solve Sir Isaac Newton's dream. We can make that a reality in our lifetime, folks. That has huge potential, and you didn't need groupthink to see that, you see. That's what we can do if we think for ourselves and go and explore these new ideas that we can heal our country and the world with it. You've been listening to A Neighbor's Choice. We'll see you next week, Tuesday at 8 in the evening, on 93.1 WFLA. I'm David Gornoski. Godspeed.